Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, I will talk about conditional if statement. All programming languages enable you to make decisions. Decisions making are critical to computer programming. There will be many situations when you will be given two or more options to select an option based on the given condition. This would be adding intelligence to your program. I will open the code editor and I will show you some examples of conditional if statement. I have this simple index.html file, and inside that I have attached an external myscript.js file. Both of these files are located inside the exercise folder. I will open the external myscript.js file and I will start with simple if statement. Simple if. You use if keyword to write the if statement, and then you define the condition inside these parentheses, and then you specify the action or block of code. This block of code is executed if this condition is true. You use if keyword to check for different condition, and if the condition is true, then this action is performed. You can use this conditional statement to perform different actions based on different conditions. Okay, let me give you a real world example. I will declare a variable var class temperature and I will assign it a value of 100. And now I will look for a class temperature. If the class temperature is equal to 100, this is the equal to operator. This is not the assignment operator. These two are two different operators. This is the assignment operator and this is the equal to operator. This operator will compare the class temperature with the value of 100. So this is the condition, and this condition is looking for class temperature. And if the class temperature is equal to 100, then some block of code will be executed, and the block of code would be the class temperature decrement by 20. So if the class temperature is equal to 100, then this action will be performed and the class temperature will be decremented by 20. Let me also write another statement, which is to display the class temperature inside the browser. I will use document.write and I will write a text class temperature just change to, and I will use the concatenation operator and I will concatenate the variable class temperature, and also I will add a break. This is just HTML line break. I will save this script and I will show you the result inside the browser. I will open this file. So you can see the class temperature just changed to 80. Because the class temperature was 100, so this condition is true, this condition becomes true, and this action was performed, and this is just to display the class temperature. So this is a very simple if statement, and the if statement is used to look for some condition, and if the condition is true, then some block of statements are executed. Now if I change the class temperature from 100 to 80, this if condition will become false and this block of code will not be executed, but the code after the if statement will continue execution. Document.write outside of if statement. I will save this script and I will show you the result inside the browser. I will refresh the page. So outside of the if statement, so the normal execution will continue if the if condition is false. Now I will move to the next if else statement. If else statement. I will copy these lines of code and I will also comment out this simple if statement because I don't need it anymore, including this line of code too, and I will paste it here. Now I will extend the simple if statement with the else statement. So if this condition is false, then the control will move to the else statement and any line of code inside the else block will be executed. Let me write a simple statement which will say no need to change the class temperature. So in this case, the class temperature is 80 and this condition will become false and the control will move to the else statement and any line of code inside the else statement will be executed. I will save this script. I will show you result inside the browser. I will refresh the page so you can see no need to change the class temperature. So this is the code execution inside the else statement. Inside this one else statement. Now I will write another example of if statement, which is if, else if and else statement. You can also extend a simple if statement with an else if statement. Let me create a space so you can see it clearly. Okay, now I will copy this if else statement and I will comment out these lines because I don't need it, and I will paste it here, and I will extend this if else with the if else if, and I will write a condition for the else if statement. If the class temperature is exactly equal to 90, then decrement the class temperature by 10. So if the class temperature is 90, then decrement the class temperature by 10 and also show the message for the class temperature. I also write the else statement too. So this else will be executed if these both if condition becomes false. So right now we have value of class temperature to 80. I will change it to the 100 back. So this first condition is true in this case and the class temperature will be decremented by 20 and this message will be shown. I will save this script. I will refresh the page so you can see the class temperature just changed and it is decremented by 20 and the current value of class temperature is 80. So if I change back the class temperature to 90, so this time the class temperature is 90 and this condition will become false. So this line of code will not be executed and the control will move to the else if statement, and in the else if statement it will look for this condition. If the class temperature is 90, the class temperature will be decremented by 10 and a message for the class temperature will be shown. I will save this script and I will refresh so you can see the class temperature becomes 80 because the class temperature is 90 and it is decremented by 10. So the current value of the class temperature is 80. Now if I change the class temperature from 90 to the 80, so both of these if condition will become false. So any line of code inside these if condition will not execute and the control will move to the else statement and this line of code will be executed. I will save this script. I will refresh the page and it will say no need to change the class temperature. So this is the way how you write a simple if statement. This was the example of simple if statement, and then I extended a simple if with the if else statement, and then I extended the if else statement with if else if and else statements. So this way you make conditions and take decisions in programming languages. There is also a shortcut of if statement which is called ternary or conditional operator. Let me give you an example of ternary operator. I will comment out all of the if statements. Ternary operator. I will give you an example of ternary operator. I will declare a variable class temperature status. The ternary operator evaluates some condition. So now I am going to write the condition. If the class temperature is exactly equal to 100, based on the result of this condition, it will assign some value to the class temperature status variable. So you write question mark and then you write the value to be assigned if this condition is true. I will decrement the class temperature by 20 if the class temperature is 100. So the class temperature will be decremented by 20 and then colon, and it is like an else line of code, and which will be to assign simply the class temperature to the class temperature status variable. Now the ternary operator will evaluate this condition. If this condition is true, the result of this statement will be assigned to the class temperature status variable. If this condition is false, then the result of class temperature will be assigned, which is the normal value of class temperature, and it will be assigned to the class temperature status variable. Let me output the result of class temperature status. I'll use document dot write method. I'll say class current temperature is, I will use the concatenation operator, and I will copy this variable and add it to the class current temperature string, and then a line break. This will just create a HTML line break. So right now the class temperature value is 80. Let me set it back to the 100. So right now the class temperature value is 100. So this condition will become true and the class temperature will be decremented by 20, and the result of this statement will be assigned to the class temperature status variable. I will save this script. I will show you result inside the browser. So the class temperature is 80. Now if I set back the class temperature to the 80, so this condition will become false, and the normal class temperature variable value will be assigned to the status variable. I will save this script. I'll refresh. So the class temperature is still 80. So this is the result of this variable. So by this way you can write the ternary operator, and this is called the shortcut of if else statement.